Hey everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. I'm Scott Kelby and I'm joined by my co-host as always. He's a beautiful man, he's a can of ham, Mr. R.C. Concepcion.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Nice.
What's that on your what's that on the table?
Oh, this is nothing.
Oh, it's something. He came into my office today.
I know,
like he
I
was
was
like,
pumped.
"Look, I got a new toy."
It's neat. It's I saw you just started. So just full disclosure, I just started playing with it. They sent it to kind of take a look at it, but I'm playing with the Veo Z Canvas. So
right.
it's basically, it's almost kind of like, you guys should probably be familiar with it if you're using like an iPad Pro with a keyboard. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just on the PC side of things. So it's kind of like, here, I'm gonna do this. All right.
You know, why doesn't somebody just make a laptop that's touchscreen and stop making all these separate parts?
Well,
like
this
you
is a
gotta carry?
touchscreen.
No, but I'm just saying, why don't you
Just
make
like a whole
laptop?
touchscreen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
but-
like make a laptop and make it a touchscreen, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there are touchscreen laptops on the PC side, but it's one of those things where I thought it was
but
kind of
nobody
neat.
uses them. Come on.
I don't know about that.
All right.
But anyway, so I think it's cool. It's part laptop, part stylus, part keyboard.
Part love.
So, yeah, I'm playing around with it. I'll let you guys know how I do with it. But so far, so good. I'm doing
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Well, we have a special guest with us.
We
And
do.
by special, I mean special. He's super special. To my right, my buddy, Mr. Rockin' Rob Foldy.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rob. Nice to see you.
This is Rob.
Hey.
This is Rob. So Rob's a photographer, right?
I am, yeah, sometimes.
And you're a sports photographer.
I am.
And did you help me develop my sports photography, my professional sports photography workflow book?
I had a little bit to do with that. Yes, I
He did.
contributed.
He helped me a bunch. So I met you at we were shooting a bowl game. We were
yeah.
a bowl game a few years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And so you shoot now. He killed a bunch of people to get where he's at. Now you're a
say that on the
freelancer,
air.
but you shoot for Getty and you shoot for Sports Illustrated and you shot for a bunch of big, fancy schmancy people.
I guess.
He's
yeah.
Hollywood.
He's he's Hollywood.
Yeah, he's
That's
hardcore.
what we should call him. We
Hollywood
should call
Rob
him
Foldy?
Hollywood Rob
Rob?
Foldy. Yeah, but we call Mike Cabasi that. So I don't know if we can really. We have to come up with something else for
Hollywood
you.
Mike?
I would say maybe West Hollywood. West Hollywood Foldy. Anyway, so today our show is about why you need to be on Instagram now, and Rob's on Instagram. RC's just getting into Instagram, which I think is why this is really good. But you know who else is on Instagram, has been using Instagram for dating purposes for many years?
Ooh.
He's getting
The
ready to
amazing.
leave.
But we're festive, but he's not so.
Oh, Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Oh, no.
So
He is bitter.
This mug.
okay,
Today.
hey, look at our set. It looked like Christmas threw up. Take a look at our set here, and then look at Brad's.
Hi.
Oh, hi there.
He looks delicious, though. I mean,
Brad, your set it's depressing.
You haven't been reading the viewer comments, Scott.
Oh, you're right. I don't see the viewer comments.
Who's the
No,
guest who
there's
looks
someone on
weird?
the
Thanks,
screen.
Josh.
Oh, let's
nice
see.
to meet you.
Josh says, "Who's the guest? He looks weird." That's true. Yeah, definitely looks a bit odd. Chris agreed. It's like if a hippo made love to a guinea pig.
Did you write that?
No, Brad made all these comments up. Thank God. I got to the last one. I'm thinking, man, they're pretty rough in the comments today. Oh, anyway, how you doing, Brad? How,
I'm good.
besides being mean to our guest?
festive.
He's actually staying with me while he's in town. He's been here
big
since
spoon.
Sunday because he came in to shoot the Bucks game with you and then stayed for the seminar. And then at the seminar on Monday, you were like, hey, why don't you stay here to be on the
He
grid?
didn't shoot the Bucks game with me. He was in the same stadium. I saw very little of Rob.
Well, you know what I'm
shot the Bucks
saying.
game.
He does.
I shot the
I know,
Bucks game.
but he does all kinds of acrobatic things on. He's very young and stuff. I look and he's like, he's burrowing into the
He's
field
young
and
and
stuff.
limber.
And
You mean-
I look over there, he's got a little shovel and stuff. He's
I
like,
mean, he's actually working.
Oh, you know he stayed with you. Sorry.
why does RC always have to say something so inappropriate? Can I tell you
I'm
something?
sorry.
If you're not on the jib shot, look, it looks like we're pasted in there. Can you go to the regular front camera? Doesn't it look like it's like a green screen behind us or
But
something?
look, wait, just to prove it.
No, but look, it looks like a green screen or something.
Kind of weird. But
Put down those
I love it. I think
boxes
it was
with the
great.
white dots on them. Those aren't supposed to
Anyway,
move.
so welcome. We're glad you're here. We have some giveaways. Can I tease the giveaways real quick? So we
Yes.
got some different giveaways than we normally
Dear
have.
God, please
All right,
do.
I brought some. First, we're gonna give away. Look at this. What is it? Who knows?
Lightbox.
It's called the Lightbox photography cards. So, we've been doing these like 20 days of Christmas. RC and I have been doing these. Every day we do like a new thing. If you go to my blog, we look at something. And this is one of the things we looked at was this. There are photography cards that like give you projects and they give you tips and stuff. We have this one. This is a nice set. And
I'm going to hold this.
it comes in a nice case and all. And another one. So they're a competitor. See the bigger picture cards. We're giving away both of these today and a shirt that has nothing to do with photography, but is brand new, and I had an extra one from my favorite website, and you guys have seen on my seminar talk about it, reverb.com. It's a large.
I'm not wearing a large.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a large.
I have this in XL, which is me, but we're small. I used to wear small or XL.
I'm not wearing a large. It just hangs on me, really.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, but we're going to give away a brand new, fresh Reverb shirt.
I like to show the moves.
And we're going to give away a copy of Moose Peterson's Captured, which is when he was in Afghanistan. No, it's a wildlife photography book.
Can we also give this away?
Yes, we may.
Okay, so we're going to give away How Do I Do That in Lightroom. So this is written by Mr. Scott Kelby.
Ooh, I
and
get
it's
the full name.
Very quick, one-page tricks on solving common Lightroom problems. So we're going to give that away as well.
All right, let's get to our topic. And our topic today, of course, is why you need to be on Instagram now. And I want to tell you real quickly how I wound up wanting to do this. It was weird. So earlier in the year, much earlier in the year, we did a whole thing on social media for photographers. And we were kind of going through Facebook is this, and this is that, and the other.
Right.
Hey, since I mentioned Facebook, can I ask you guys to do something?
Sure.
Okay. Those of you who are watching, would you be so kind as to right now stop whatever you're doing, which is really nothing if you're watching us, and send out a note that, hey, they're talking about Instagram on the grid. Here's why. Because I have a Facebook page, and I've been doing a lot there. Mm-hmm. But Facebook really wants you to buy ads. And so if I mention the grid, there's some algorithm that says, show this to no one. So I'll give you an example. I have 170-something thousand people that follow me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Earlier today, I said, hey, today on the grid. Now, I don't know if it's the word grid or the word Instagram. It didn't like one of them. It showed it earlier today to how many people?
40, probably. I'm going to guess.
1,300 people.
Right.
Only 1,300 people ever saw it in their feed. Now, 175,000 people said, I want to see the stuff Scott's putting out, but they only showed it to 1,390. So then I said, here's our prizes for today. 2 hours ago. They've only showed it to 870 people.
Right. But did you write a post earlier today?
I wrote a post about Apple's ugly butt phone case.
Right.
And it got shown to 69,704. So it makes it hard to get the word out about the grid like we're doing a show today. So if you guys could help us out there, because Facebook is not helping. You know what Facebook says? I see this big button that says boost, boost, boost. That means pay money. So as you can see by looking at our guests and the set, we have no money. We have zero.
That's why I'm
We
here.
did this. We can't even buy name brand water.
We buy generic
We
water.
buy generic water, and that RC actually traps on the roof and bottles for us, or we wouldn't have any water at all. So if you'll tell your friends on wherever you are to please come and watch the grid, we would be very, very grateful.
Make sure you put in the URL too. I mean,
Yeah, put in the URL, kelbytv.com/thegrid.
do it on Twitter too.
On Twitter. Twitter's a nice place. You know, Twitter shows you your feed. They show you whatever you put in there.
That's because they're not the whale that Facebook is.
It is. Okay, so anyway, we did this show.
And scene.
And close. We did this show, talked about all these different things. And I really wasn't on Instagram. Now, I will tell you this. I had an Instagram account.
Right.
And Ajna, who runs our social media here at Kelby One, comes to me one day and says, you know, you have like 5,000 followers and you've put up like 6 photos. Are you going to do anything with your Instagram account? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know. And so I started throwing some behind-the-scenes football shots up. But when you throw up a shot and it gets like, 12 likes, you're like, why am I doing this, So anyway, but I still did. I did behind-the-scenes stuff at games. And then we're having that show, the one I talked about, where we're looking at all different social media for photography. And a question comes up, because we take your questions live, by the way. So Brad is monitoring the chat. So Brad's not just over there posing with a Christmas tree. He's actually reading your comments. If he sees an interesting comment,
It's rare.
it's rare.
It's rare.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow, Brad
Comments
just
are
burned.
gonna go crazy
Brad
now.
just burned the people in the chat. That was mean.
It's a lovely relationship.
When Brad sees when Brad sees an interesting comment, he puts it on a giant screen that we have here. The screen is so big because we can't see any further, and we don't have the money to make it nice. Anyway, so your comments come up here. Well, a guy writes, just straight up, just says, "Oh, someone's calling. This is good timing. Let me just say, can't talk now. I'm in the potty." Okay, so that's what I always send everybody. Just so you know.
Nice.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Sorry. Wow.
Wow, that was awkward.
Must be option number 2.
A guy writes on the screen, "I'm already on Facebook. Why would I be on Instagram?"
Yep.
And my answer to him changed me like from that day on. And this wasn't that long ago. This was maybe 2 months ago. He says, "Why would I be on there?" And I said to him, I answered him, I go, "Well, why wouldn't you be on Instagram? It's the only social media that's actually built on photography. It's a photography platform." And I said that out loud, and I went, "Oh my God, I'm messing up." I mean, I said, right as it came out of my mouth, I realized, what the heck am I doing? And so I mentioned on that show, well, you know what? I have different places where I do different things. And I thought, you know what I'd like to do on Instagram? I'd like to mostly maybe show my travel photography. So I said that on the show. I said, you know what my Instagram strategy is going to be? I'm going to share my travel photography there because I travel a lot and I love travel photography. And I'm going to start sharing it there. And so now I went and I did a lot of research. I read every article. I pulled on everything I could find, to learn how to
Hashtag
Ad.
research.
hashtag research, hashtag Google, hashtag
TBT.
whatever. Yeah, so TBT. Be right back at BRB. Anyway, and so I realized that there are some very, there's some methods to get members. You know what's not feeding my membership? Facebook. If you mention, "Hey, go look at my Instagram," Facebook says, "No, you don't."
And they own it, don't they?
They do.
They
I don't know.
own it.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know,
that's the
dude,
part
but
I don't
if you
get.
mention Instagram, they squash it like a bug. So anyway, so my Facebook isn't helping me. Google Plus, there are 16 people left on Google Plus, I believe. 16 only total. All of
17.
Google Plus. 17?
They just went through a big reorg too, where they started working on basically making it more community based.
Yeah, they made all those
But I mean,
groups and all that kind of.
it's interesting.
No, I was just making a joke about Google. But anyway, I have 1.8 million followers, which equates to, on Facebook, having about 40. And so, anyway, I can't build it through my other social media. So I have to build it the same way everybody else builds it, which is through content. And so here's the interesting thing. So 2 months ago, I think it was about 2 months ago, maybe 9 weeks. So somewhere 8 months, 9 months, I had nobody, basically, just a handful of people. And I'm now at 35,000 people. I'm adding 1,500 people a month. And so number one is I want to show you why I invested in it. And I think that's why, because now RC's just getting into it. Rob's been in it for a while. I follow you, and I always plus your stuff and say snarky things.
Also
but
accurate.
It is also accurate.
Confirmed.
Yeah, I do say a lot of things, but this is your buddies you say horrible things to. Just, that's, it's just what guys do. We eat our young. I can't explain it. It's just what we do. But anyway.
That's disgusting.
So, well, I mean, it's like, how some
No, I
animals
get
have
that.
a baby and then they eat the. Okay. So this is what I want to talk about. But you know what? I put a quote on Facebook, which, by the way, got crushed. Because as soon as they said, wait a minute, it was a quote from Dan Rubin. So I was reading an article, and I think this one is a really key thing about. I thought his quote was great. He had this whole long article, but I pulled this out and I shared this quote. I made a meme.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. Like a boss, I did. Made a meme, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook. And it says this, quote from Dan Rubin. He said, "You're much more likely to have your work discovered because you're on Instagram than to have someone stumble onto your portfolio." Absolutely right. Because you have to, no one's going to find your portfolio by accident. I was just searching for random things. I was searching for, fishing gear, and it said, look at RC's portfolio.
Yeah.
You have to go looking for RC's portfolio, especially since RC hides his portfolio under, it doesn't say rcconcepcion.com.
No.
That's too easy. It's too obvious. Where would you find RC's portfolio?
About RC.
AboutRC.com. You'd have to know it. You'd have to go looking for it. You have to be searching for it. But
If you go on Instagram.
you go on Instagram, you see all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's nice. Who's that? Oh, RC. And I've learned about so many photographers, and this is why I know it's true, because I've learned about so many photographers I never knew were out there. Instagram has opened a whole new world of photographers that I now follow, that I now enjoy their photography, that I can consider for teaching classes and doing all kinds of stuff. So I think that Instagram in that right there with what he said in that quote is huge. Huge, huge, huge. We have some questions coming in, and I'm going to start with Anonymous 65591. By the way, I know that by default it wants to give you an anonymous name. You can just put your first name so we can go. It's Sally.
Log in on Facebook.
Yeah, or whatever. You know, you're logging
log in on Facebook.
You can also log in on Facebook, and so
And then you do.
we're not going to give away your home phone number. Anonymous 65591 says, "I've heard before Instagram can use your pictures to do whatever they want to. Any place that you're going to upload pictures to, any place is going to have a legal thing that says, if you put your pictures up here, we need to be able to show them for advertising or to show them on our homepage or whatever. Because the thing you want on Instagram is for to wind up an Instagram Explorer tab, right? So if and any lawyer, including the lawyer that works for us, says if anybody gives you their photo, they're going to have to basically give you permission to do whatever they want with it. Now, I wish that you could find a lawyer that would say, you know, we're just going to use it for promotional purposes. But every lawyer's like, well, what happens if one day you use it for a charitable thing? What happens if they come up with every scenario in the world to go, look, you just have to let them use it, just give them a blanket thing. So every time I hear it's a rights grab, can I tell you something? I tell you, I can't. You're not going to find a photographer out there that said, well, I took this shot. It was really, really nice. The next thing I knew, a bus went by, and Instagram used it, and Instagram won't pay me for it. The best thing that could happen to you is that Instagram steals your picture and uses it. Seriously.
You're saying on Monday, that'd be yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you love to wake up in the morning and see a Delta ad on the side of a bus go by and it's your picture and Instagram used it? Because you would sue them into the Stone Age, right? But it never happens. Instagram does not need your pictures. Instagram has a billion pictures. When Instagram wants to do an ad, they will hire a photographer. You know where their photographer is?
Probably from Instagram.
On Instagram.
Probably
So here's the thing. So that's every time I read one of those, I just want to go, you know, every time you put images on the web, I don't care if you put them on Google, I don't care if you put them on Facebook, on Twitter. If you don't want your images to be potentially abused, don't put them on the internet. But believe me, the people that will steal your photos are not Facebook. It's not the people at Instagram. It's not the people that own Twitter. They are not going to be the people to steal your photos.
It's the people who like to make edits.
Yeah. All right. Algia 10. Edits. Here's a question. I have 44 followers on Instagram last time I checked. So where would I advertise this to gain more valuable followers? Because I have a feeling Instagram is just like Twitter, where someone follows you, so you just follow them back and they stop following your thoughts. I only follow, can I tell you how many people I follow on Instagram? It's not a bunch. I only follow.
Do you follow me?
I follow you.
Do you follow Rob?
I follow Rob.
Okay, so that's 2 at least.
I follow 100.
Do you follow Othello?
I have 35,000, almost 35,000 people following me, and I follow 133 people. So, if you're just going to follow someone to follow me, like I will see people that'll put up the post will be, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. You know what it is? Do you want just random, just nobody following you? I think you would want people that you care about following you, important people, valuable people, you know, people that are going to give something to you. You know, that they're going to post content that's valuable to you. I don't mean valuable like money-wise. I mean valuable like you see that what they're doing and it makes you feel happy, makes you feel sad, makes you think. Instagram's great for all of that. And so I think that, and I actually am preparing a whole class on how to build your Instagram following. I've got a whole class that I'm doing, and I'm going to be taping it here very shortly. The whole class is about building the following. Today on the grid, what I'm trying to convince you to do is first get on there. And the person with 44, can I tell you what, if you just go in and type in how to build your audience on Instagram, there are 1,000 articles on it. And they all kind of say the same thing. They all pretty much come, and can I tell you what the secret is? Here's the big secret, ready? I think you'll agree.
Okay.
You put great content up there, stuff that people want to see, it will spread and your numbers will go up great. If you put up pictures of you eating outside, here's my breakfast, here's a donut, you're going to be at 44 for a long time.
If you put up pictures of your dog, Scott will make fun of you.
Yeah, if you put up pictures of your dog that look inappropriate, I'll make fun of you.
I don't have a dog. Time for an Insta break.
It's not too late. Let's take Brad says it's time for an Insta break. We have a lot of questions coming in. We're going to answer them, including this one from Bruno Miguel Santos, who says, I don't Instagram because I don't have a nice phone.
Can you solve that problem for him?
Yes, Brad. Brad, when we get back from the break, Brad is going to give you his phone. We are going to ship it to you. We're going to take the SIM card out.
Apparently,
Brad's not going to pay.
Apparently, you don't think I have a nice phone because you make fun of it all the time. So.
Oh.
So
It's
maybe
not that
you need to
you
give me
have a
yours.
nice phone. It's
You just don't
a
have the
very-
battery pack.
It's a very small phone. It's very.
You need the Apple battery pack. That's what you need.
You need that hump on the back of your phone.
I'm happy with my phone. I don't need anything bigger to make me feel secure.
This just got awkward.
Look at his cup.
Today he is better.
That's not mine. I didn't put it there.
Man,
This is
you
what I'm
are.
bringing out of.
They
You
must
are.
have known you were coming.
Dude, they knew you were going to be there and it'd be all kind of snarky.
Okay, time for a break.
All right, time for a break.
We'll see you guys back here in just a little bit.
All right.
Hey everybody, RC here. This holiday season, you can go to the mall and take the same mall picture that you have with Santa, or you can use your photography and Photoshop experience to make something great. We're going to teach you how to be able to use a regular playground, one light. We're going to talk about compositing kids onto a beautiful holiday image. You have all the gear, you have all the knowledge. We're going to show you how to do that right here on KAYLEE One.
I'm KAYLEE GREER. In this class, you're gonna learn how to get the best photos possible out of your dog, how to work with your dog and keep him engaged and interested, how to capture action shots of your dog flying at about a gazillion miles an hour. We're gonna take a trip to the shelter to learn how to work with shelter dogs and give them a second chance through photography. Come check out my new class on KAYLEE1.com.
Welcome back, everybody. RC here with Mr. Scott Kellman, Rob Foldy here on the grid. We're talking about Instagram.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you something? That
Yes.
that pet class, photography, she's like the dog whisperer.
She is.
She's amazing. She is just crazy.
She's amazing.
Mr. Foldy, what
Yes,
kind of
sir.
stuff now you do? You're pretty active on Instagram.
I try to be.
And you're just Rob Foldy, so just like at Rob
at
Foldy?
Rob Foley. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what kind of stuff do you normally put up there?
Well, I'm primarily a sports photo or photographer, so I primarily post sports photos. And I try to do a combination of stuff.
Can we see your stuff? Can we? So here's what you have to do in our magic world of love to actually see your screen. You have to.
Have to AirPlay somewhere?
Yeah, you have to AirPlay to a video control room 2.
Uh-oh. How do I do
Oh,
that?
control room 1. I'm sorry. Go to.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I don't know if my
Well, here, I
computer's-
have you up right here. I have you up.
Oh, he
Okay.
got you. Look at that. So,
So-
RC will go. And can we show the really awkward shot right in the middle there? Yeah, you're going to be on control room 1.
No, I'm already on. I should be already on. So, if I'm not on, I will be on.
You got disconnected,
Okay. Let's just send it again.
You know, if you had a laptop, it'd already be connected.
No, it's already here.
There you go.
It's
Just
already
messing
here.
with you.
Whoa.
So that's my page, I guess.
Hey, your screen's all stretched, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how to handle high def screens yet. Well, it's just, there's
What's the resolution on that screen?
It's like, I think
it
it's close
4K?
to, yeah, it's close to
That's
close to
cool.
it. Yeah. So it's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
it's all stretched. So his pictures aren't this wide, and he's not that wide. All right, so talk. What kind of stuff? You're putting a little bit of everything there. I see you. You're at our headquarters there.
Yeah, for a little while I
You
tried a
got
couple
the
years
guy's
ago.
butt. That's nice. Kind of a
Wow.
grand
I
shot.
put that for you.
It's like talking
so
smack on the.
for a while I was trying to do stuff that I only took with my phone, and then I was only trying to do behind the scenes pictures and wasn't really posting stuff that I took while I was on assignment or with the DSLR. But I'm trying to figure this out the same way a lot of people are. So I'm trying to find that happy medium between behind the scenes stuff, photos I take on assignment, stuff that I like, stuff that I'm working on for, personal projects,
tell you what
whatever.
Is that a Glock 27?
I tell you what didn't.
Springfield XT40.
I tell you what
Oh,
didn't
nice.
work for me. Welcome to Florida. We all have guns. Everyone's got a gun here. There's 5 guns in the studio.
I'm packing now.
Marcy's always got heat. Anyway, so you know what didn't work for me at all was that personal stuff. All that little like, hey, here's behind the scenes of the football game. It didn't work for me. I got nobody. I had no traction. And I think if you don't get traction, you're going to lose interest.
I mean, I'll admit that the thing that I do more than I probably should is I try to see what people or my followers like. So I'll kind of go back over the past 2-3 weeks, sometimes when I'm bored, maybe even longer, and kind of look and see, okay, well, these photos average 30, 40 likes. These average 60, 70 likes. People love pictures of gear. I don't know why. But like I put this picture of a couple of cameras up and it'll get 100 likes.
Yeah.
And then I'll put a picture that I took I was really proud of, it'll get 12 likes. So I don't know why people like pictures
But you know
of
what's
telephoto
interesting?
lenses.
Well,
but
this
they
is what's
do.
interesting. Can I tell you a big advantage? Here's another reason why you should be on Instagram right now. You know what Instagram is amazing for? Letting you know which images resonate with the people
Absolutely.
that follow you.
Yep.
Because they give you X amount of likes for this or next one. And I know ones that I'm putting up that this isn't going to go over well, and it doesn't go over well. Or it's one that I know that I personally like, but I don't think is really that great, and they'll confirm, yep, it ain't that great. But what's nice about it is, like, I use a website called Iconostat. Is that right? Iconosquare. Iconosquare.
Okay.
So I use Iconosquare, and what it was it'll let you sort by the most likes. It'll say, here's your most liked photo to your least liked photo. And man, it's eye-opening, because you'll think, I bet everybody loves this one. When it does the sort for you, it tells you, these are the ones that are resonating with my audience. And I tell you what, for a photographer to know which ones resonate with a large audience, this is very hard to do on Facebook, impossible to do on Twitter. There's no real place where you can go, here's 50 images, which ones are the ones that you guys like?
Right.
I mean, I guess technically you could try to do that on Facebook, but no one will get through it. But this is, over time, a really good way for you to zero in and go, wow, this one.
I think you had a really good point. Over time, it's a good way to see
Right, over
the past,
time.
6 months, the past year.
Right, but all of a sudden you'll have one that'll just jump up and you got 2,000 likes and you're like, wow, they really like that. And then you'll go, I wonder if they like this one. Ooh, they really don't like that. You'll know really, really fast. So
and different times of the day, like, not to kind of go too far off, but there's different people have done research. If you post a photo, be the best photo in the world, you post it 3 a.m, people might not see it. You post it on a Friday night or
yeah, but 5 in the morning is like my hot time.
Is it?
That's another one. So go to Iconosquare. It's free. You can get on a free Iconosquare account. They will analyze your thing and go, hey, you know when the best time for you to post is? 5 a.m.
I did notice that about your account, that sometimes it's like weird. I wasn't sure if that's because different countries and time zones, and I didn't know why, but I did
I
notice.
post it when it says this is when most people are going to be there. So that's the great thing about Iconosquare. But I also want to mention, you know what the other thing was that got me psyched about Instagram? I said that sentence, and that was the first thing. And at the same time where I thought, I left the show and I thought, I'm messing up. I got to be on Instagram. Everybody. And by the way, I would say, if you had to say, what is the hot social media right now? Is it Twitter?
No.
No. Is it Facebook? Everyone's on Facebook, but it's like the General Motors of social media. Everyone's on it, but it's not the hot one. Is it Google Plus? Is it Flickr? It's Instagram. And you know what? When I'm talking with customers or I'm doing things, all they care about is Instagram. Like, I went and shot the Sydney Opera House, and they were saying, when you put this on Instagram, here's the hashtags we'd like you to use.
Absolutely.
All brands are locked in on Instagram. Do you know why brands like Instagram so much?
Because
Free
everybody has
advertising
it
for them.
Because it is hot. It's because that's where, believe me, the brands are going to go wherever it's hot. All the brands are going to want to go there, and wherever the hot social media is, that's where the brands are going to spend their money. If everybody goes, and it's such a visual thing. It's such a beautifully visual thing. But here's the other thing that made me love it.
Okay.
The day they added the button that lets you not just put square photos up. There is now a button that lets you put a wide photo up. Now, you could always use a separate app, and you could get an app that would put black bars and stuff. This does it for you. It's right in Instagram. It's part of the app.
Can I make an Instagram complaint? I love that they did that. However,
It doesn't
So
show 100%?
I was one of the ones who was using Wideogram or something to make all my
Right.
photos fit a ratio. I still do that because even though they'll let you post it and it'll show up on somebody's timeline, or if you click on it, when you zoom out and view everybody's page, they still force it to that 1-to-1 crop, which is fine, except for they won't let you, like on Facebook, if you have a profile picture, you can pick what part of it you want to be that 1-to-1 little
Right, the
preview.
focus area.
So if I had, like, my first photo, I'm to the right of
See
the
his first photo?
frame.
Can you show the first His first photo here.
Yeah,
that
so like
photo.
I'm on one side of the frame. If you clicked on my account, they would make that square and you'd cut my face in half. Which, as a photographer, I'd want to be able to say, okay, if you're going to just preview it square, that's okay, but let me pick the square that I
where
want.
the focus square is. Yeah, I hear you. Now, there's another thing inside the.
Take note, Instagram.
Take note, Instagram. There's another thing. I don't know if I can show you, but there's another thing that's kind of cool. There's also another little app, and I love this. And it's actually a separate app, but it toggles right from. You know how like Lightroom and Photoshop work together?
Yeah.
This one lets you have multiple photos. It builds little layouts. You can put 2 photos, 3 photos, 6 photos. You ever
Really?
used it?
Which one?
It's built in. It's called.
in Instagram?
Yeah, it's in Instagram. It's like right in it, and I'll have to find the name for you. Give me 1 second here. It is called. One moment, please hold. Holding. Hold on 1 second. I can't even find it. I'm just trying to. All right, here we go. It is. It's in the right. It's in the bottom right hand corner. Can you see my? Can you see my screen? No. Okay. Control room 2. I was on control room 2. Oh, I'm off now. Take me to control room 2.
I had noticed I picked up a bunch of followers. Thank you, guys.
Do we have control room 2?
Nice.
All right. Okay. So, the little button here does the wide or square. On the left side, wide or square. Oh gosh, is that my picture of the day? I hate to show that. Was that my image chosen for sports picture of the day? 1 of 2? Gosh, that's terrible. Anyway, but in the right corner of the screen, there is this little layout thing. You go over here, and here you can see the name, Photo Booth. And it allows you to, well, I just turned it off. Allows you to choose different like layouts. I want 3 photos, 5 photos, and it's all these different layouts. It really is very slick. And when you're done, it saves it right into it's like a seamless workflow.
Cool. Yeah.
Hey, RC, we got some comments?
Yep. Let's see. It's not about advertising on Instagram. It's about tagging your images effectively to have them seen. Your feed sees your photos because they're followers, but people searching for images like art directors, local brides, etc., are pulling up your images if they're tagged correctly.
Okay, so
Can I hop
this
on
is a
that real
big
quick?
thing. Hop on it.
All right, so I've actually heard of wedding I have some friends that are wedding photographers, and I know people that have actually gotten booked on weddings based on their Instagram account. Somebody found them, they hashtagged it with the local city, stuff like that, and they've gotten hired and gotten to shoot a whole wedding just based on somebody found them
Just on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, because you know what? Here's the thing. So you could say right now, Facebook has a certain audience.
Okay.
Twitter has a certain audience. You could say all the kids have left Facebook. Like everyone young,
Maybe, yeah.
everyone, if you're 20 years old, you're like, I'm not Facebook, who else my parents use? They're out of there. Everybody's on Instagram. All the kids are on Instagram. All the brides, the to-be, are on Instagram.
And Pinterest,
And
yeah.
if they want to find a great photographer, they're going to go hashtag wedding photographer and their town. And people are using it. And that's one of the things. People that follow you are going to see your image. But here's the big advantage, and it does this way better than I think Twitter does, is that when you have an image on Instagram, your chances to be seen by many other people that aren't following you are huge by using hashtags. Your hashtags, just like this is what Anonymous 19111 said. Is it okay if we just call you Anon? Anyway, what they just said is, it's not about advertising on Instagram. Facebook is about advertising. They want you to buy an ad. On Instagram, the secret is tagging your images effectively. So if you, like for example, let's just say that I took a picture of the Sydney Opera House.
Right.
I would tag it with, well, Destination NSW, which is the official hashtag.
Okay.
I love Sydney, Sydney Harbor, Australia, just the word Sydney.
So where'd you find
Opera House?
So where'd you find those? Did you like search on Google for
I
what are
just
the most
type them in.
popular?
No, I'm typing in. I look at the picture and I go, well, Opera House, Sydney,
Okay.
architecture, harbor. Now, the Sydney Opera House gave me
Their
hashtags to use.
official
Please
ones? Okay.
use Destination NSW, and then I love Sydney. And so I use those hashtags. So they see them. They'll see them and go, oh, we're going to repost these. And so it's you want to reach people. The secret is hashtags. And what that person said, and Anon just said, Anon191111 is an art director. Look at this. Anonymous, same person said, I had an art director in Paris ping me for photos in full res, because the ones on Instagram are very low res. They look good, but they're very small. And we worked out a deal already. Instagram is legit. I can't tell you how many stories I've heard exactly like that. This is why for these reasons and more, you have to be out there on Instagram, because you know what the thing that Instagram brings you? An audience. The chance to reach people you would never reach. On Facebook, you're going to reach your friends. On Twitter, you're going to reach your friends. On Google Plus, and then you'll hear just the sounds of angels. And just kidding. And then on Instagram, you have the opportunity, every hashtag, your image appears in that stream.
Well, what I like is so Facebook, you can write text, you can share a photo, you can share a video, you can add a location, you can do a variety of different things. And I'm not an authority on social media, but what I try to do is, okay, I use my personal Facebook to communicate with my personal friends, family, people I'm close with.
Right.
Twitter, I try to use for text because it's text. I know you can add photos and you can add videos. Vine, videos, and then Instagram, photos. Well, as a photographer, I would gravitate towards Instagram. So whereas people started oh, I'm going to picture of my dog, picture of my food, picture of my this, I think that's become Snapchat for what
Right.
my understanding.
Yeah.
You know, this is I'm at this concert, I'm at this restaurant, I'm hanging out with these people. So I really have seen over the past year, 6 months, Instagram really just go towards this is the photography social media.
Yeah, I would agree with
it's
that.
less of what I'm eating for dinner, more of this is a good photograph.
Yes.
Regardless of the medium it was taken with, it's
Yeah. And if you're a celebrity, it's one thing. If you're a celebrity,
Exactly.
you want to see what Snoop Dogg had for breakfast, it's interesting. But I agree with you. I think in the last year, you have seen more focus on, for example, DSLR photography. Do you know how many photographers that have said to me when I mentioned on Instagram, they're like, well, isn't that just for iPhone shots? I'm like, I stopped putting any iPhone shots. All of my shots are from DSLRs now. All of them. And I love that it lets me in one button just decide whether it's square or not. Lots more questions coming in. RC, let's hit some.
Can you guys offer high-level tips on how to tag Instagram images effectively? A question of etiquette. Can you add too many tags? If so, what's overboard?
Yeah, that's from Matt Charnitsky. So there's a lot of strategies to this. And in my online course, I'm going to go really deeper into it. But there are people that add 30. There are people that will not add any to the post, but then for your first comment, they add them all. So it doesn't seem like there's the post, and then they're real quick to do that. I did that for a while. It stressed me out because you want it to be the first post, to be all your hashtags. Because even when a comment's posted there with hashtags, it gets picked up. So you write your post, and then for the first comment, you just pop in all your hashtags. I would copy and paste them. So I don't know what the right one is. I know that there's a lot of different ones. And the great thing about Instagram, because the statistics you can get from Iconosquare are is it Iconosquare? Yes. Iconosquare are so in depth. They're so great. It can really tell you which ones are working, which ones are not, which are the most popular hashtags. It does all the work for you. But Brad wants to add something. Brado.
Like for me, I would do the same thing what you were just saying. I would post whatever caption, and then a second comment, put all the hashtags, because at the time, because this just recently changed, like in the last update, it would show your entire caption, comment, whatever, when you posted the picture, and then the comments would show up below that. So you could be scrolling through, and if somebody put a paragraph this long, that would be all in your feed. Now it shows about 2 lines of text, and then you have to hit see more to see the entire caption. So now if you want to put your hashtags on when you first post, you can do it there, and it's not taking up a lot of extra room. For me, part of the reason I would do it as a separate comment is because a lot of times I would post to Instagram and Facebook at the same time, and I didn't want all those hashtags showing up on Facebook. So now you can either do it that way, do the first post and then do a second post with hashtags, or you can go back and edit the post after you've posted to Facebook to add the hashtags on Instagram.
Excellent. Thank you, Brad.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, can I give you a tip?
Sure.
This is a little Instagrammy tippy. So when you make a post, of course, there's a little button to share to Twitter. So there's a mini tip and then a major tip. The mini tip is, and it's going to make sense, like, well, duh. The engagement you get by adding the Twitter segment is tremendously better. Like, let's say that you were going to get 500 likes. When you add the Twitter thing, you're going to get 750. But here's the thing, and I have people, so when you actually just tag it on Twitter, it goes to Twitter and goes, Scott put an Instagram picture, and it gives the first few words, and then you have to click it and go to Instagram to see it. So people will go online and say, Scott, do you know you can get around that and actually have it post the picture on Twitter? I don't want to post a picture on Twitter because there's no chance of you following me on Instagram. If you're seeing all my Instagram feed on Twitter, you're just like, oh, I'll see it on Twitter. So on Twitter, I just use the standard, just click the Twitter thing, it sends a link, and then you can go to Instagram, and hopefully you'll see my other stuff and go, well, this looks like interesting stuff, I want to follow it. But I think the big secret is, this is the big secret altogether, is if you're posting interesting content, if you're posting pretty images, interesting images, fascinating images, you know, I think you'll get people. Rob, if your main thing was to, because you've got some really interesting, you get access to all kinds of crazy places. But, and this, I'm not being critical, but if I was going to take over your feed, the first thing I would do is, number one, and this would be an emergency, change your profile picture to someone handsome. Number two, I would put George Clooney there, certainly. No, I'm kidding.
Sure.
Totally joking. No, you know what it is? You have so many interesting things that you can show, right? And I would pick a topic. Pick something. What is it going to be? It's because you got concerts in here, you got baseball,
That's
you
what I
got
was
family
curious
members.
about.
Yeah.
Pick a freaking topic because you know what it is? I want to go see Rob Foldy stuff because I'm going to go see behind the scenes sports. If it's just behind, look, he's a good photographer, isn't he? He got some good stuff. Anyway, but I want to know what I'm getting there. And now I go to your thing. Now, if you're a celebrity, I want to see everything you're doing. But until you become a celebrity, right? And none of us are. But I mean, if you became Snoop Dogg, if you became DJ Robbie Rob, which, you know, is close, then all of a sudden I want to see what you had for breakfast.
Yeah, see, and that's well, I have questions on that. I have questions. We'll,
right, yeah.
We'll go to a break and then we'll come back and then we'll go from there.
Is there any way we can show what Brad wrote on the screen? So every time we take a break, Brad has to write something, I don't know what to call it. This is what Brad wrote on our screen when it's time for a break. Hashtag time, hashtag for, hashtag and, hashtag Insta, hashtag break, hashtag.
Well done.
Hashtag, we're out. We'll see you guys back in just a couple minutes.
Hashtag commercial break.
Hanging off a cliff or dangling out of a helicopter, Kevin Gilbert always got the shot. And when the assignment is to capture an extreme reality TV show, things can get scary. The inspirational interview that takes you inside the shows of the Discovery Channel is only on KELBY One.
Create your own space at squarespace.com.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Pete Collins, and just in time for the holidays, I've got a brand new class for you, using Illustrator to create great holiday elements for your own Christmas cards. That way you can personalize them and send them off to your friends and family. Now, even if you haven't used Illustrator a lot before, I'm going to take you through each one of these things step by step and show you some neat tips and tricks along the way to really make your holiday card stand out and be a personal hit for all your friends and family.
Yeah, it's like a diet or something, you know. Hey, we're back with RC and Rob, Rockin' Rob Foldy. And RC on the break was asking, go ahead.
You know what? It's just I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out on Instagram, and I think that my big problem with it, I think, not problem, but just one of the things that I'm concerned about is, and maybe it's not everybody's problem, but I feel like what happens is when I take my Instagram account and I turn it into just amazing, I'm like, I think it just becomes a visual representation of LinkedIn, where it's like all of a sudden the requirement for me to, like, before I even put it on Instagram, I'm like, is it awesome? Is it good? Is it going to resonate? Is it going to do this? And I'm like, that's not me, like, all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, that's, and it's not me constantly. So if I need a bunch of amazing pictures constantly. If you need to do something constant every single day or something, and I'm like, I don't shoot awesome stuff every single day.
But so here's the thing, RC.
And I'm like,
First, let's ask, how many times would you post a day? How many times do you post a day? Do you have any kind of schedule or what?
I try not to ever post more than 3, but I might post a couple times a week. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll get a bunch of images and I'll post a bunch of stuff at once.
So I do 1 to 2 a day, but sometimes I miss a day. So I would say I'm going to average 1 a day.
right.
All right, 1 a day. Now, RC, you have enough good images. You could go probably 10 straight days, 1 a day.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. What I mean is, RC, you go everywhere.
No.
You
I know
go all over the world.
I know, but
You've
even
always got interesting
No,
images.
I do, and I'm grateful for the images that I have. But even I'm just realistic. Like even if I did that, I would run through a month and like there's a lot of the times, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it. I'm not going to post anything if I don't have anything interesting to say. Like if I don't have a good picture, I'm not going to post it.
Wait. Okay.
So
but
what
here's the thing. This is what's good about Instagram.
Okay.
This is what's good about it. Number 1, you don't always have to post an amazing picture every time. But number 2 is you don't have to say anything.
Right.
You don't have to say anything at all. I see posts that go up, it's just a picture. Or I just see one that says Liberty Park.
I know,
New
I
Jersey.
get that. No, but I'm talking photographically speaking. I'm talking
But
even
you've got archives like.
I do, but I don't feel like they're good representations of a lot of my work. And I feel like what happens with that is it sets an unrealistic expectation for myself so that so I have to produce every single time. And I don't care about producing every single time. And I don't want to produce. Every bat that I do isn't awesome and it doesn't happen every day. And I would feel like for me, it would be unrealistic to do that.
You don't have to post every day. You don't have to post every day.
And that's where I get caught with that. That's the part where I'm in it and it's not doing very well and I don't know.
But these are 2 different problems. I think problem is, number 1, you got to pick what it is. What is your Instagram? What are you going to put on there? Like when I go to RC and I see Instagram, just like we're talking with Rob, like if I was Rob, I would focus on sports and behind the scenes. And that's all I want to see. No dog, no family, no whatever. Not like you couldn't do it ever, but I would say that would be a really interesting one that would be an instant follow for me. Hey, this guy has interesting sports stuff and behind the scenes stuff you don't see very often. Boom, I'm in.
Right.
But I think you have to decide what it is because it really becomes fun. You know what I think Instagram is of all of the things that it is the most fun.
Right.
Number 1 is you're not limited to 140 characters.
Yes.
Twitter literally punishes you if you're dumb enough to stick a picture on your Twitter feed. And here's why. If you put a picture on Twitter, Twitter will tell you. They email me and tell me, Scott, want more views? Add a picture. As soon as you add a picture, it subtracts like 30 characters or some ridiculous amount from Twitter. They penalize you. So Twitter, the company, is saying, please add photos. It creates more engagement. And then you add a photo and it penalizes you the moment you add it. But Instagram does not. You know what else Instagram doesn't do? If I follow you, I see everything you put up. It's not like Facebook, there's no paying. You put it up, I see it. Because I'm saying, I want to follow RC. I want to see what RC's doing. And now, RC, do you realize the strategy can be not to show any nice photos? Your strategy can be, I'm only going to show photos of Sabine. I'm only going to show photos of my gear. You can pick any strategy you want, but at least if I look, I'll know what it is. I'll go, okay, I like this. I'm going to follow RC because all of his shots are behind the scenes shots. Okay. By the way, I follow. Can I tell you somebody I follow that posts nothing but behind the scenes? There is an awesome feed. Go. I want to tell you who it is. Hold on.
And I think that I think that that's actually because I've been really struggling with it, and I think that there's a concept of social sharing, which when we started off in social media, a lot of it was just to be able to share, and this is where I'm actually thinking about I want help on this. I'm thinking about it. I feel like when I post something, I'm going to post some things that are good work. I'm going to post some things that are behind the scenes. I'm going to post some things that are meaningful to me. And that's me as a person, like all together. Yeah. I talk about my daughter. I talk about my behind the scenes. I talk about my pictures. And I feel like sometimes if it just becomes my pictures, then there's no social to it. All my social is look at what I can do. Look 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 what I can do. Yep. And I'm like, that's not me.
And I would agree with that. I think if the people who do that, and just say these are my best whatever photos. You may have thousands of followers because you're concise and to the point, and I do this, and if you like this, then follow me. I would agree. I'm kind of like you. I put a little bit of, okay, I do a lot of sports. There's a lot of sports stuff. There's some behind the scenes. But then I also give kind of glimpses into my personal life. Now, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, I don't really know. But
And I think that that's the argument that I'm having with all of it, because what happens is this, and I have no idea if it's right or wrong, but I think that what happens is this. When there's people that I follow that have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 people, and their life is consumed by what's the next awesome image that they're going to put, and the followers that they have could give two craps about who they are as a person. There's no engagement. You are literally feeding the masses, and all they're doing is going.
Right, but they found it. But here's why: the people that have 300,000 and 400,000 followers have found a way to. That's how they make their living.
Right.
They're like YouTubers. There's
Right.
the same thing. That's like, I'm doing this. I'm putting up this much content out because some of those real popular people will put 7, 8, 9, 10 images up a day, and they'll shoot a lot of them with their phone. They'll shoot a lot of them with a cell phone or whatever.
Right.
Right. But you got to realize they're doing it for a different reason. Like, they don't have a weekly show that goes on at 4 o'clock, hosted by you.
No, yeah,
So
and I think
go,
that
I have other things.
and I
that,
think
you know.
that, and I think that part is fair, and it's just I don't know which one it is, and like I think you hit something that's going to be a breakthrough for me, which is the entire. It doesn't have to be a great pic. Like, it could be a behind-the-scene thing. It could be a gear thing.
Yeah.
It could be something.
I just want
that part. I think is interesting because I obviously I'm not warm enough on the Instagram thing to kind of want to do it that way, and I certainly don't feel like I have any kind of, and this is just a me thing. I don't feel like I have enough of a voice for me to go every day I'm going to post an awesome picture, because that's just not me.
No.
It's not me. Now, I will say this, and not brown nosing and talking smack about my boss, but you shoot consistently well every day. Oh, like you have a giant vault of things that you do that produce great work.
You have
and
a
that's
giant
good.
vault.
I do. It's just I don't feel like it's
Just
sustainable.
remember this. Instagram is not your portfolio.
Okay.
Instagram is getting some images out there that you want to share. I've shared images on Instagram that you would never see from me anyplace else. Like, for example, let's say that I went to France last summer, and I have all these shots from France. Well, I have my 1 or 2 hero shots, and then I have a bunch of others. I'm sharing all the others.
Yeah.
If I took 72 keepers from 2 weeks in France, I have a place I can share those 72. And I can hear engagement. I can hear people saying, I ate there. I've been to that place. That's really fun. I love that mountain. I love that view. I was right there. And it is fun to see, to me. It's a lot of fun when people relate to the photo and say, I'm going there in 2 weeks.
Yes.
I was
Yep,
just there.
absolutely.
Yes.
This is why travel, for me, is so interesting for Instagram. I get to show pictures I never get to show anyplace else.
Right.
Exactly.
I get to, because people travel around the world like they never have in history, I think that's really great. Can I do 2 things? I don't want to interrupt your thing but this is why I wanted you on the episode, even though you're not big on Instagram,
Right?
Because of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think you could be your feed could be fascinating, because there's so many facets to you. You're
Right.
not a one-dimensional person. You've got all these different parts of your life but it's just if it's just like another Facebook, you already got Facebook.
Right.
You got to treat this differently.
And
So
go ahead.
the 2 things I want to tell you is the name of that site, the name of the people I follow for behind-the-scenes shots. It's called Famous BTS Magazine. Look, they're working on a block of ice, right? You can see it's lit. They're working on some kind of block of ice, and they're melting it with a blow dryer.
That's too funny.
And then, of course, if you hit more, they tell you, Rodolfo and the Ice Whisperer, coaxing awesomeness from a 300-pound block of ice for the Clearly CA 2015 Winter Chill Derek Cardigan Ice Campaign. And so, anyway, you see some really interesting, fascinating, like behind-the-scenes stuff. Some I don't care about, but you know what? I'm following them for a very specific reason. They show behind-the-scenes shots, and I find that really interesting. I follow a bunch of people on travel for the same reason people follow me for travel. And I follow travel photographers whose style is so different than mine and stuff. So that's very different. But Brad, you had a thing that you were going to mention that I thought was very helpful.
Yeah, so one of the questions we got was from Sean Robertson asking, is the iPad the best platform to use Instagram, or be your laptop or your phone? There's a lot of other people asking questions. So Instagram, the app, is primarily for the iPhone or Android, but you can download the iPhone app to your iPad. The interface itself looks pixelated, but if you're uploading high-res images from your phone they'll still show up high res on the iPad. But if you're okay, for example, if I were shooting a concert and afterward I wanted to upload one of my best shots to Instagram, I would edit it on my laptop. And for me, the easiest way for me to do it is I will then save it to my Dropbox, pull out my phone, open the Dropbox app, download the full res image to my phone, and then post that to Instagram. If I were to downsize and say, oh, that's only going to show up on people's phones, and I downsize it to be iPhone 6 size or whatever, then I look at it on my iPad, it's going to look pixelated. Or if I look at it on my laptop, it's going to look pixelated. You can't go to Instagram.com on your laptop and upload to Instagram, but on the break, our studio audience, Othello, was telling me that there are apps you can download for your laptop to upload to Instagram and do hashtags and all that sort of stuff. I personally haven't tried it. I did a quick search, and I think like the Uploader app is like $5 or something.
We need Othello.
So there are ways
tips.
around
Yeah, we need
it.
Othello tips.
That's my
Othello's gonna give
workflow.
us-
Somebody else mentioned they text the image to themselves. Again, whenever you text the image, it doesn't give you the full res. So if it's big enough res and you look at it on your iPad and it works, then great.
Hey, so Brad, can I explain what's going on your
Yes.
on the iPad? So here's what's actually happening. The Instagram app is only a phone app. So what happens is when you download it for the iPad, it runs at double size. That's why it
Right.
looks pixelated. But I got more. Let me finish.
Okay.
I got more. Which looks bad because it looks pixelated because you're doubling the size. So if you uploaded 1050 resolution, like 1050 pixels, which is kind of the standard size for, and then you double it, yeah, it's like going to 200% in Photoshop. It looks pixelated. This is why I don't use Instagram on my iPad. I use Padgram. Dun dun dun. Padgram.
But what I was going to interrupt about, if you're uploading a high enough res image, the Instagram app still looks pixelated, but the images do not.
But the image is right. If you use a high res image, it
Right.
still looks okay at double size.
Right.
But if you want to look at Instagram, once you've uploaded, like once I uploaded, I don't look at the Instagram app anymore. On my iPad, I go to Padgram, and Padgram works very nicely. Or you can just go through your regular browser and still look at Instagram through Iconosquare. I got to tell you, I don't have any affiliation with Iconosquare, but I wish I did. It is the greatest, like, free. Now, they have a pro service.
I was going to say, it's not free anymore.
Yeah, they have a pro service.
Yeah.
And now, so all of this stuff has got me thinking, and I'm sure it's got all of you guys thinking about it. And it's so if you had to kind of distill it, you would say Iconosquare would be one of the first things you need to take a look at. Make sure that you take a look at hashtags. Hashtags are going to be something that are going to be
There's a
essential.
question for there, right there, number 3. We read that one.
So how does one know what hashtags to use or what's popular? Algia 10.
Go to Iconosquare.
So
it'll tell you.
So hashtagging is appropriate. You want to make sure that you stay hashtag consistent to the picture, not too much. There's a debate on whether or not we want to put them inside of the comments or put them in the
They
post.
both work. They both
Both
work.
of them work.
I like Brad's tip though about that.
Right.
It
I
says
like
more,
that.
and it kind of hides them anyway.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool. Then there's the thing about focus. So you're taking a very specific focus on doing one thing, and you're saying that focusing all of the energy into one direction is going to result in a little bit more of a follower.
I think it's going to in a tremendous one because when I was scatter shot, I was getting anybody.
Yeah, see, and that's the biggest. So now I've got to go back and take a look at. I've got to go back and reanalyze that because I'm like, for the longest time, the problem that I had with Instagram is that I felt like if all I did was show all of the stuff that was the A-rated stuff, then I was just, all I am is a product, not a person.
Right.
And that's I don't want to be a product. Like I want to be a person. And so that part's been really weird. But then be a person.
Then people then won't follow you for that. They won't say, I don't want to follow RC because RC is not posting amazing images every day.
So we may suffer in numbers, but the people that follow us hopefully want to see everything.
You may not suffer in numbers. It's just depending on what people like. That they're putting up behind the scenes photos.
Right.
They're not finished photos.
Right.
They're like, hey, stand back. I want to show people the lighting and all the cords and the cables. Click.
Right.
It's just I know what I'm getting when I go there, and it interests me. And so I don't know how many followers they have. Can I go see? I bet it's a decent amount. Let's go famous BTS magazine. How many followers do they have? Not bad. 21,500 followers. Hopefully they got some more today. But dude, look at some of their stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. And like we were saying,
let me
it's
see if I can
consistent.
show it on the screen. My AirPlay's like a little funky today. They got some. Look at this stuff. They got some behind the scenes shots that are wild.
I'm going to have to meditate on the entire focus thing because I think that that's probably, it sounds like a great idea. It sounds like it's something that really needs to happen. It's just one of those things where it's like that's not my behind the scenes every day. And putting something like that, like I would feel like I gotta find what my focus is going to be that I can be consistent in, because it's like not that my photography is inconsistent. Like I'm pretty confident in who I am as a photographer. Like I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we can go and I can hang with anybody when it comes photographically speaking. It's just it's kind of like blues, right? Like I'm not running 1,000 licks. I'm waiting for the right one. All I'm doing is going, this is going to be a shot. And if it goes a month before I make the next shot, I'm like, I'm cool with it. Yeah. I'm totally fine.
And there's other users that do that.
But you know what's nice?
But then what happens
if you wait a month and your thing comes out, everybody that follows you will see it. Plus, you have the opportunity on Instagram that you don't really have anywhere else on this way to reach all kinds of new people that have never heard of you before.
Yeah.
Now,
and that part.
It's not like Facebook. I think people are more likely to unfollow you if you're annoying and you're posting 10 photos a day. I think that they're the most likely people to go, because I stopped following so many people on Periscope because it would just go bing, they're doing another Periscope, bing, and they're doing another Periscope. Bing. Stop it. I couldn't unfollow people fast enough on Periscope. But on Instagram, I see the feeds of the people that I want to see. I can't tell you if famous BTS magazine missed 2 days, 5 days, 12 days, but then all of a sudden I see them in my feed and I go, oh, famous BTS magazine. So, but they're smart about how they do their hashtags, and people that have never heard them and never seen before, every time you put up a photo, you have the opportunity to reach brand new people. And you have people that are out there searching under hashtags that you may be using. They're looking for a wedding photographer. They're looking for a commercial photographer in their city. They're going to go photographers in Cincinnati, and you're going to come up because you use the word Cincinnati, you use the word photographer, you use these hashtags that people are actually looking for. People are going to Instagram to find interesting photographs. Don't you want to be there? Yeah. Don't you want to be there? You're there. But you know what? Also, RC, so we talked about Rob showing sports photos.
Wait, just
behind the scenes photos.
And while we're there, let's just make sure, full disclosure, people who want to follow Rob, you can go to Instagram.com/Rob Foldy, or it's just Rob Foldy, ROBFOLDY. If you're watching, you can follow him on there.
Yeah, so. and he posts, in all honesty, I mean, he is my friend, so I follow him. But I follow him because he puts interesting stuff on Instagram. You were one of the first people I started following when I got serious on Instagram. And I write crazy stuff on his stuff. So if you do follow Rob, you're going to see me and RC spamming him and doing terrible stuff to him.
Can you make a post on Instagram to tell people to follow Rob?
I can, but here's the interesting thing. You know what Instagram doesn't do? And I can't tell you if it's a good thing or a bad thing. You can't embed a link in a post.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you can embed a link in your bio. So what people do is, like yesterday, this is the first time I ever did this on, the first time after all this. Today, yeah. First time I ever did it. I did a tutorial yesterday on my blog on how to make better natural light photography. Right. So some tricks on natural light.
Right.
And I said, hey everybody, here's one of the shots from this blog post. Click the link in my bio to jump straight over there. And you can put, it's at scottkelby.com. The problem is,
you can't put it there.
They click it and nothing happens.
Right.
It has to be in your bio. Now, will that change one day?
Or how long do you leave it for before you go back? So today
before
I
you
was
switch
debating,
back.
I was like, oh.
Now, could you make a square post with Rob's picture and say, this is my buddy @Rob Foldy. You should follow him.
Because it's within the app, they could be able to link to an account or a hashtag.
Right.
But you can't
right,
link
because
to an
if I put #Rob Foldy, that's now a clickable link. Or
so if I said watch me on the grid at http://Kelly.
No, but that's not gonna. No, but I'm saying, I'm saying, if Scott made a post and said, this guy, you should follow this guy, then would that direct them to you?
It would.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Hey, you want to hear something interesting? I don't do this, but I'm hoping to find somebody that will let me do this. Do you know that a lot of people with huge numbers will just let you sponsor a post? Say, hey, how much to send my picture out to all of your users? And they'll say it's $1,200 or whatever it is. I've heard some going.
doesn't surprise
I've heard
me,
some
yeah.
with some pretty big numbers going for $200, $300, or whatever. I haven't done it yet, but
And there's a lot
I
of people
think
that will do it with not even for money. So like I have some clients that will, you know, if they are happy with the picture, they'll send it out from their account. And typically those accounts would have a lot more followers. Than,
Right, and they
than the
include
personal
photo by
accounts.
Rob Foldy, and so they're all the, and that's a big
Which
thing
is
that
very
you want
nice
to do.
whenever
And
people
I
do
go
that.
into all these strategies in detail in this class I'm going to do. Hold on, I need some water here.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of information that's happening with most of this stuff, and I think that one of the benefits that we have here is that you have a couple of different things. You have Iconosquare, you have hashtags, you have the fact that you can load large images, the fact that you don't want to be over pollute, the fact that you have to stick to one thing. It's a much bigger conversation than we can have probably in a 1 hour show.
And I think we're jumping all over the place because some people do this and some people do that and some people do whatever. But I think the point is, however you want to do it, if you're a photographer, you should still be on Instagram. So whatever your plan of action is, if you want to be, I'm only going to post my best stuff. I'm going to post a little bit of everything. I'm only going to post behind the scenes. I'm only going to post iPhone only. And there's some photographers on Instagram that are iPhone only and incredible.
Right.
I'm not one of them. I post a little bit of everything. But if you're a photographer, you should be on Instagram. And there's people that have told me, you know, hey, I saw this on your Instagram account that I'm like, I couldn't believe that person followed me on Instagram. And it was quite an honor to hear that. But a lot of those people don't like all of your photos. They'll kind of like sneak around and they'll see everything you post. And then, you know, once a year, they'll sneak a like and I'll be like, oh, I forgot that person followed me. You know.
But the overarching goal for this is a couple of little mini tips. But the overarching goal is that you need to be there.
Yep.
You have to. This is the
Whatever
whale.
your
You
approach
need
is
to
gonna
be
be.
there.
Yep.
Now, how we approach that is what you're going to talk about in the class.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the whole thing on how to build because I'm not building it from my other social media because people would say, oh, well, sure, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got all these big numbers, you're going to get people to roll to your thing. I couldn't get anybody to roll. I can't get, number one, Facebook won't even mention Facebook. Like, did you just say Instagram? I'm sorry. Squash. But
See, that's funny. I have the opposite. I like the number of followers that I have on Instagram, and I have a couple followers on Twitter, but I have very, very few likes on my Facebook. So I don't know. That's the next thing I have to tackle is once I, figure this out, I'll have to try to figure out how to be a little bit more. That's the next class. Can you do a class on how to be popular on Facebook?
No.
So I can watch it?
No, you have another class. That's not on the schedule. You have something on Facebook that you're talking about.
no, I don't.
I thought you did.
Really don't.
Oh, look, see, a bunch of people like
Hey,
that.
look. Hey, some people actually. Thank you for everybody that at the beginning of the show I asked you guys to like put it out on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. Thanks. We did. It made a big difference. So thank you. We pretty much covered all the comments
God, yeah.
here.
And there was a good point. Sorry, let me, if I, don't mind me
ahead.
jumping in. There are a couple people that asked about having two Instagram accounts, and that's a good idea. Some people could have a work-based account. I do that with Twitter. It's honestly just more a pain in the butt than it is anything. And so somebody will think that they're mentioning me, and to keep those things separate, in my opinion, has been more of a hassle than it's worth. So for Instagram, like I'm just gonna have one account, and if you don't like it, then don't follow me.
There you go. Justin F. asked, hey, Scott, is your wife's iPhone photos on Instagram? They are. She, I think, is primarily focused on Instagram. She shoots only with her iPhone. She does a great job.
And they're very good.
Oh, my God, she's so funny. I read her things in the morning, and I'm like busting out. Her stuff is, I love her Instagram feed.
Is it shot with my trusty iPhone? Or is it
Shot
her
with my
name?
trusty iPhone, I believe, is what she uses. I'm having to look at my
In
own
the
thing.
sports world, Brad Mangini is another great one.
He is. I follow Brad. He's very good.
They actually, Sports Illustrated came out with a book
baseball
of
stuff
his
is good.
iPhone. He's a sports photographer from the San Francisco Bay Area, and he's super duper talented, and all of his stuff is iPhone only. I think he did a thing with Apple
Can I give
as
you
well.
a few people I follow just in general? I'm going to give you my wife's. I think it is shot with my trusty iPhone, but I want to give you a few people that I follow that I think are
Sure,
worth looking at. Michael
please.
Bonacor.
All right. Bonacor's great.
Bonacor's great. Rick Salmon.
Can we
posts a lot on
see
here.
them there?
Oh, yeah, you can see
Just
some.
mirror in so you can see.
Yeah, let me do. My mirroring is just, it's a poor day for mirroring in the city. And while I'm getting this ready here, RC is going to tell you how to enter the contest. We have 5 giveaways today. We're giving away these
the
very
light
cool
cards.
things. See the bigger picture. The reason why you have to tell you what these are is you have to tell us in the comment field which one you want to win.
Okay.
So you want to win either of the photo cards. Could be see the bigger picture, or, and these are great stocking stuffers, by the way, if you have the other one, Lightbox.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. I'm just going to try
Or
to get some.
Lightbox photography cards. We're giving those away today. We're going to give away a Reverb.com t-shirt right here. Lovely. For the musician in your life.
All right, so this is what we are going to do.
$2.
This time around, what I want you to do is I want you to go here. I want you to go to kelbytv.com/contest. You're going to put in your name, you're going to put in your email address, you're going to put in your website, and go ahead and leave us a comment. One of you guys is going to win all of this stuff here. Let me just go ahead and just kind of put this back up here for you guys. So go to KAYLEETV.com/contest. Name, email address, website. Leave us a comment, and you will win this giant prize package captured. Moose Peterson, How Do I Do That in Lightroom by Scott Kelby. And
No,
we'll
you
give
only
away
win each one of those. It's not a giant prize package. It's an individual.
One of each.
One of each. So you
Okay.
just tell us which one you want to win. All right.
Perfect.
Can we see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Okay. I'll show you some people that I really like and have been following. Okay. Look at this, Moose Peterson. So I follow Moose. Beautiful. Pearson Photography. I'm gonna show you everybody. Lindsay Adler. I'm just going to stop on some of my very favorites. Love famous BTS magazine. You guys saw that. Now, every once in a while, I see the word sponsored there. They just paid for that to be in your stream. That has nothing to do with anything. You don't follow them. It's just like, hey, we're paying to be in your stream. All right. So, of course, I follow our own things. Resource Travel. Michael Bonacore, I think, does a lot of nice stuff. Vincent LaFerre has been posting some of the most beautiful aerial shots. And you know what I know? Every time I go to Vincent LaFerre, I'm going to see an aerial shot of another city. He's been working on this project for a while. His stuff is terrific. Afar Media, I like some of the stuff that they've been doing. And Canon USA, they don't really, it's not like ads and stuff. Look, 5,000 likes, 5,160 likes. They post a lot of nice photos. Condé Nast Traveler, I think, is very nice. Adam Elmakias. His stuff is insane. 9,000, he almost has 10,000 likes on this picture, and it is a selfie. The reason why he has 10,000 likes on a selfie is because the other stuff he posts is so amazing. Like he posts I'm gonna go pop over to his page. His stuff is just crazy.
yeah, he's got some.
Some of his stuff is just off the chain. He is. I'm sorry? He's got a bazillion followers. He's a really, really good concert. He's got great behind-the-scenes stuff, but he's just a really, really, really good photographer. 19,000 likes on that. Okay, so anyway, he's a really good one. Tether Tools. Tether Tools is kind of doing the same thing that behind-the-scenes, but it's all tethered rigs, so you see their stuff. And I want to show you a couple more. You can post short videos, too. Peg Fitzpatrick teaches you social media stuff. She's very good. Passion Passport, B&H Photo, of course. I always want to see what they're doing. Shiny Lewis. That's Regina Pagels.
Oh, okay. I like Regina Pagels.
Yeah, and
Regina Pagels.
We love Regina Pagels. All right. So look at this Canon photo. See, I mean, they post a lot of good, just straight up stuff.
A lot of those are user submitted too. So
hey,
if you use the
Squarespace.
right
I follow
hashtag-
Squarespace. By the way, I just updated my portfolio, so I use Squarespace, right, for some of my stuff. And I have two portfolios, and so I just updated. Fortunately, I wasn't able to update my football yet. I haven't taken some shots that would be good enough to. But I added some new stuff to my fashion and beauty stuff and my people. So I've updated a couple of if you go to my blog and just click on portfolio and maybe you can check it out. But Squarespace, I love their stuff. Very easy and so easy to update. Like once your site's up,
Absolutely.
oh my God. Well, your site goes up in 15 minutes.
And it's
Squarespace?
Yeah, you just go to your own website.
I've used them before.
Yeah, okay.
Hit escape. You can get it right
Alan
there. Change
Hess.
Photos.
Alan Hess, Rebecca Radis. If you really
Alan
want
on
to,
there?
every day, Rebecca Radis is another one that writes every day on how to build your stuff on. So here her post is advanced Twitter strategies to make 2016 your best year yet. Now, Rebecca is really talking to people who are trying to make a living, like brands and photographers that are working and stuff. You know, it's not like, hey, I'm just home doing nothing. And Steve McCurry, Joe McNally, you know, people like that are on here.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And I was hoping Rob Foley.
Don't follow that guy.
R to the F to the O to the D. Wiggy, wiggy, wiggy. I was hoping to. See this photo?
Man.
So this photo is of Rob today, and it was taken by Levi, and I of course I had to comment on it. And what did I write?
No, you commented on a tweet, I think.
No, I thought it was here. There it is.
Nope.
Nope, that's not it.
It was the tweet.
It wasn't the tweet. Maybe it was the tweet. I want to find my wife's thing this morning because oh my God, it was so funny. But I'm pretty sure she's shot with a trusty iPhone. But once you follow people, you don't remember what they're hashtag. But look how many great photos you see just by strolling through here. right? You're curating your own art gallery when you do this.
Dave
Look what
Black.
Dave Black's been doing. Dave Black has been doing light paintings with models from Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't care.
So he's taking these model pictures, combining them with real outdoor, sky shots, and doing light paintings.
Regardless of what you shoot, follow that guy.
Follow
He's
Dave
super
Black
good.
photo, absolutely. Look at B&H got a cookie thing in there. Come on, man, there's a lot of people. Dave Clayton. It's Dave Clayton. All right, Brad wants to go. He's getting whiny. He's like, it's time for you to go. I was going to hope to find. Oh, here we go. There it is. Oh, she's Calibra_Kelby.
Oh, okay. Good thing we checked.
Well, you know what? I don't. She usually hands me her phone when she posts this, and so I read it on there. But she posts lovely pictures, all taken with her phone. But it's what she writes with them that is they're either very inspirational and touching or the goofiest ass crap you've ever read. It's just awesome. I love it. All right. Hey, we have a deal. The Kelby One book team.
That's right.
So our book team decided to come up with a holiday ebook extravaganza.
All right, so each week they're giving away 5 copies of one ebook. At the end of the year, they're going to pick one winner, and they're going to win a library of all 16 books. If you want to see this, make sure that you go to KEL.by/KelbyBooksKD. So I'm going to show you, let's see, can we do this? KEL.by//
He's typing it anywhere.
Kelby Books
Oh, you're over there.
KD. So Kelby Books KD. That's it. So KEL.by/Kelby Books KD. That will bring you to Kim Doty. So it's basically an ebook extravaganza
All right.
there.
One more thing I'd like you to do. So last Wednesday, I had a very special guest blogger.
Okay.
You know who it was?
Who was it?
Rob Foldy.
What?
What? Hey, it was a really, really good guest blog. And we had a weird thing happen in WordPress. So we set these things to release. I always release mine like 3 in the morning.
Right.
But we set these to release overnight, so when people wake up in the morning, it's there. WordPress in the last month has been doing this thing where it doesn't post, and when you go look at why, it says missed schedule. Like, you picked a time and say post at, and it's been working for years. Now it just says in red letters, missed schedule. No reason, nothing, just didn't post it. Happens on the Lightroom Tutor Tips blog, and it happens on there. Anyway, his blog went up late. It went up like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something. What time?
2 Wednesdays ago.
Was it 2 Wednesdays ago?
Thanksgiving.
All right, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And what Rob did in his thing was he broke down a shoot he did with the Miami Heat. So he did portraits of all of the Miami Heat players. They have this thing called Media Day where you come in. And so he went in and shot all the players. And I didn't see everybody else's shots, but dude, I have to imagine yours are the very best of
I
all.
wouldn't say that. They're just different.
Just because you're being modest. Anyway, if you get a chance, go to my blog, scottkelby.com. Go to the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so just scroll back, a couple pages, and you'll find Rob's thing. When you see basketball players in black and white that look really good, that's it. But read the whole story. It's a very good story, and he shows you behind-the-scenes shots and the whole thing. It's very, very well done. There it is. Boom. Shakalaka. Hey, look at that shot. He looks like a boss. You know what I like about this shot? Is it just me, or does it look like he's wearing a kilt?
It does. It does look like
That's a
everybody.
great picture.
Cool.
Yeah, the reason I was excited to do it wasn't because I wanted to show off the pictures. It was more because I've learned a lot. I've done a couple of them, and I just kind of wanted to pass along some of the experience that I've had doing a couple of these and some of the tricks and tips that I've either come up with or learned from other very talented photographers, and kind of just pass those along. So that was
Nice.
that's what it is.
Great. Well, thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll
That's
see you.
pretty
We're doing
much
that.
it.
You here
Having
next
me.
week?
I think I'm here next week. Yeah, I don't think I don't have any more seminars until like next January. I go to
Richmond and Atlanta.
Richmond and Atlanta, the ATL. So my Shoot Like a Pro tour continues in January, but I'm kind of home for the holidays.
Nice.
Anyway, hey, I do want to tell you this. Go to kelby1.com
Right. So,
and
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
yeah, join
All
with
sorts
us.
of training.
We've got awesome training, and including that awesome dog class right there.
KAYLEE,
From
she knocked it
She is awesome. She is so incredibly good. But we had new classes every single week, including classes from RC. We're going to get, Brad's going to do in 2016, hopefully soon, a class on concert photography because he's an insane concert photographer.
That's what I do.
And we have concert photography classes on, but I think Brad's got his own spin. I've learned a lot of things. It's interesting. I've learned things from Brad's concert photography that has spilled over to other areas too.
Absolutely.
So I always try to tell people that, like, don't only just watch the classes that are directly relating to you. If you watch other classes, like even if you don't shoot weddings, but if you shoot portraits, I guarantee you, go watch like Cliff Mautner's class on shooting around the clock, shooting brides all day long. You will learn tons about shooting portraits anytime. So don't put yourself in a box. Brad wants to say something.
Because going off of that, one of my favorite pieces of advice, I gave a talk a few years ago, and I asked other photographers what advice they would give to somebody, and one of the things that Dave Black told me was, like you said, if you're in one type of photography, study other types of photography, and that can apply, because if you're going to go shoot golf is basically landscape photography with people on the landscape. So there you go.
There you go.
Follow me at Be More Visuals on Instagram.
Hey, Brad, talk to us about your sad Christmas tree.
I know nothing about this tree. I came in and there it was.
Really, Brad?
It's the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Can I tell you something?
I know that.
Earlier today, we saw it there, and it was beautiful and full, and it had ornaments all over it.
It's missing a blue blanket.
I ate the ornaments. I don't know. It's there. There it is.
What are you hoping to get from Christmas? For Christmas?
New Apple TV.
A new Apple TV?
Yeah.
Preach it, brother.
Yeah, I could go out and buy one, but I mean, Christmas is right around the corner. Let somebody else buy it for me. Why not, right?
Okay, that's a very selfish way to think. Okay, so Rob, where can people learn more about you?
Well, Instagram, subscribe to Instagram, just at Rob Foldy. My website is robfoldyphotography.com. And please follow me on Facebook, please. I think it's facebook.com/RobFoleyPhotography. I have like 12 followers.
You're like me looking at
Please.
Calibra_Kelby. All right, RC, where can people learn more about, where can people learn more about RC?
So you can just go to aboutrc.com. So aboutrc.com or Instagram, Facebook, all of them are pretty much just /aboutrc.
All right. Well, it's time to go. We're way actually past time to go. But you know, when DJ Rob Foley's here, you just want to
Kind of just want to go a little long.
You just want to go a little long.
Fun fact, don't tell Scott anything that you don't want to be. Just,
You were a DJ?
I was.
Oh, dude.
No, I shouldn't have ever
I
told
like
anybody
DJ.
that. That was many moons ago.
Was it?
Was it?
Or were you DJing last night at Brad's house?
Well, hey.
They're doing something at Brad's house.
And on that note, we're out. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you
Thanks,
for having me.
Brado.
Thank you.
We'll see you
See you,
guys later.
everybody. Bye. It's time to end this show, and I mean now. Chicago.